Two siblings were killed in two separate accidents. A World War II veteran celebrates his 100th birthday, and what happened this past week in sports.
You're watching St. George News at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Amy Bennett. On Friday night around 9 o'clock, another pedestrian was killed after being struck by a vehicle. Police later found out that this man was the sibling of a woman who died in a similar incident on Wednesday night. Here's Cody Blowers with more on the story.
The family of two pedestrians killed on Bluff Street near the intersection of 500 North, 2 days apart, is still reeling from the losses, according to Valerie Jones, whose sister, 37-year-old Mardell Parkin, was killed on Wednesday evening, while her brother, 36-year-old Matthew Jones, was killed on Friday in the same intersection by a different driver 2 evenings later. Joanne said that when their sister was killed, that she and her brother Matthew were together at the same intersection, comforting one another on Wednesday, and little did she know that she would be back there 2 days later when he was killed while crossing the street. Two separate accident reconstruction investigations were opened following each of the incidents, and at this point, the driver of the pickup truck involved in Wednesday's incident was working with investigators and has not been charged following the incident, while the driver involved in Friday's crash, identified as 28-year-old Brianna Lee Waters of Washington City, was arrested late Friday night under suspicion of felony DUI, as well as second-degree felony negligence that resulted in a death offense. She remains in custody without bail. When Jones was asked how she was managing in the aftermath of the devastating losses, she said that she was having a difficult time wrapping her head around what had happened, and that for now, she said she's just going from moment to moment.
Ken Brown, a World War II veteran, celebrated his 100th birthday with his family over the weekend. Here's Eric George Gould with the story.
Several different generations of the family were on hand Saturday to help Ken Brown celebrate his 100th birthday. Brown has a distinguished legacy as a veteran, teacher, family man, and role model. He recently spoke at a gathering of World War II veterans who were with him during the Marine landing on Iwo Jima. Here are several of his grandchildren and great-grandchildren singing the traditional birthday honors.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you.
Jesse Bang met with a man who took a 10-year break from art, and when he came back, he turned painting into a full-time career.
Matt Pechtel is a mixed media artist who specializes in oil painting. His art studio at Make Space in the Kayenta Art Village is a place he says is inspiring in itself.
And that's a bristlecone pine. There's a bristlecone pine loop. And this one was growing right on the edge of the canyon.
While he's sold his paintings on and off for the last 7 years, he's now doing art full-time, something he's always dreamed of doing.
I feel like it's going to last for hundreds of years, and it's going to be what I leave behind. And I don't even know where ideas come from, but ideas just come and hit you, and then being able to paint it and put it on to canvas and then show other people, and then watching other people during shows just turn a corner and see your painting and be like, whoa. It's really rewarding. It's really fun.
As southern Utah's temperatures are dropping and the ponds are drying up, Alicia Lundgren tells us how Utah's only native salamanders survive in the harsh environments.
From hot deserts to cold mountains and icy waters, Utah's only salamander species finds a way to survive. Barred tiger salamanders begin their lives in the water, first as eggs and then as gilled larvae. Many of the salamanders will undergo metamorphosis by late summer or early fall, trading their gills for lungs and taking to the land. There, they'll dig burrows to stay warm as temperatures drop. Others will remain in the larval stage for several seasons or even mature and live their entire lives aquatically. In late fall and winter, the larvae often bury themselves at the bottom of muddy ponds, but if some of the water remains unfrozen, they can remain active but slow under the ice, sometimes not moving for days or weeks at a time. They'll reemerge next year, most likely as monsoons rage, to reproduce. Those interested in seeing the salamanders before then can visit Red Cliffs Discovery Center in St. George or attend a public event with Southern Utah University's animal ambassadors.
Thanks, Alicia. And now to Aaron Crane to give us a breakdown of what you might have missed in sports last week.
Thanks, Amy. This past week in sports, only one Region 9 team remains in the 4A state playoffs as Crimson Cliffs and Desert Hills faced off last Friday. It was a rematch of last year's state championship, and the Mustangs got their revenge, beating the Thunder 41-16. The Mustangs got out to an early lead, forcing the Thunder to punt on their first 2 possessions, while the Mustangs scored on their first 2 drives. The number 2 seed Crimson Cliffs is now headed to the semifinals, where they will play the 6th seed Ridgeline, and the winner moves on to face the winner of Green Canyon and Park City in the state championship. SUU football celebrated Senior Day with a big victory over Lincoln University, beating them 35-6. Crimson Cliff senior Boston Bracken has been named Men's Player of the Year by the Utah Golf Association. Bracken joins an elite group of players who received UGA Player of the Year honors while still in high school. Bracken also plans to sign an official letter of intent next week to play collegiately for Arizona State University. Now back to you, Amy.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. I'm Amy Bennett with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5.